Dream Theater go all in, Guns N' Roses troll their haters, and Iron Maiden are treating their fans exactly like we hoped they would. Metal is life and well, so let's see what keeps it going today. Here you go. The truth about Judas Priest. This week, Judas Priest have finally announced the release of their new documentary. And no, it's not just some fake news that have been circulating online for the past year or so, but a proper movie made by the developers of Metal Evolution, Iron Maiden, Flight 666, and Rush Beyond the Lighted Stage, co-directed by the legendary Sam Dunn and Tom Morello, which is set to tell the whole unfiltered truth about the entire history of the band, starting with their formation back in the late 60s and up until today. And now, a couple of days ago, I already made a very special long video about everything you kind of have to know about the Ballad of Judas Priest. Because yeah, that's the name of this documentary, and I think it's the most clever one you could possibly think of. So I'm not gonna go into the details of it in this video. You can just check out the previous episode on the show later on. But for now, I just want to answer the question which so many of you have been asking me about in the past couple of days. So yes, of course, KK Downen has been a part of this video. Guys, today is my birthday, and today I simply wanted to thank each and every one of you. Thank you for watching these videos, thank you for subscribing to this channel, and thank you for this incredible heavy metal community we're building together. Honestly, your support and friendship means the world to me. Guns N' Roses troll themselves. This week, Guns N' Roses came up with a rather clever and smart way to troll all of their haters, as the band posted a 59-second video titled Guns N' Roses Greatest Hits. Although instead of the music, this video contained 14 different clips of Axl Rose's falling on stage.
Welcome to the jungle.
Set to the band's iconic Welcome to the Jungle, the Instagram reel features everything from faceplants to stage dives, of course unintentional ones, and all to make fun of the incident which happened to Guns N' Roses during their latest performance in Mumbai, India, this May 17th, when Axl Rose tripped running up the stairs during the performance of Sweet Child of Mine, which of course is also present in this video. But the coolest thing is that this was posted on the official Guns N' Roses page, so it just once again shows that despite anything, Guns N' Roses still can make fun of themselves. And also shows that you can critique Axl Rose and his form and Guns N' Roses all you want, but it is them who are still gathering stadiums all around the world. And given that, I don't really think that they care that much about all those haters. And here, as always, I just want to thank all my patrons and all of the YouTube channel members, as well as everyone who purchases Metal Pilgrim merch to rock out at metal concerts this summer. And in honor of my birthday, this weekend I'm doing a huge sale on all of the merch designs in my merch store. So if you wanted to update your metal merch for this concert season and support this show, just know that this weekend would be the best one to do it. And of course, all the links to it will be in the description to this video. Metallica breaks a record with M72. This week, Metallica announced yet another European leg of their M72 tour, this time for 2026. Kicking off in May and running through July, the European leg brings back the full production in their own stage, Snake Pit, no repeat weekends, and a wild lineup of guests, including Pantera, Gojira, Knocked Loose, and Avatar, opening for the band. But the craziest thing here is that with this announcement, Metallica are actually breaking their own record, as by July, even if they don't announce any more dates, M72 will become the longest lasting, or I guess the most stretched out tour in the Metallica history, spanning a jaw-dropping 1,165 days from start to finish. And by the way, good news for all of the craziest Metallica fans, as the I Disappear tickets are back. And yes, those are the tickets that can give you an access to any Metallica concert, as many as you'd like to, for a mere $1,200, yet which are still extremely popular among those who travel to see their favorite band around the world. And here's the thing, reading this news, I simply couldn't believe that I still haven't seen the M72 tour because of everything that has been going on in Ukraine in the past 3 years. And I truly hope that I will get to see it next year. Hopefully even in Frankfurt, right on my birthday. Dream Theater go all in. Following their sold-out Reunion 40th Anniversary tour, Dream Theater just announced yet another tour, and this time they're going all in on Parasomnia. The Parasomnia 2025 tour will hit 30 cities across the United States, and it is still unclear whether it will be brought by the band to Europe and beyond. Yet what we do know for sure is that on it they will be performing the entire Parasomnia album live, along with classics and fan favorites. And here I just want to point out that I actually think that it is a great idea, as Parasomnia, at least to me, is actually one of those albums that you kind of have to listen to in its entirety. And after its release, I actually found myself returning to the songs from Parasomnia only in such a way. And we actually spoke about that with Mike Portnoy in our latest interview, which by the way is available on this channel, and he did agree with me on this, as Parasomnia is a conceptual album not only lyrically, but also in a way that it presents the tracks and how they are best enjoyed only among the other songs on this record. So I'm actually quite happy that at least some of the Dream Theater fans will be able to enjoy this album live in the way it was always meant to be enjoyed. Tim Lambesis falls even lower.
All I need right now is your fist!
So just when you felt that after all the scandals and after pretty much the entire band has left Tim Lambesis, once again, he couldn't fall any lower, comes this kind of news. Tim is reincarnating as LA Diane, once again, with new musicians, and even is going on tour, starting with the dates in Russia. And by this, Tim is actually showing that he's a very consistent person. First he hires a hitman for his wife, then he beats a new one, then he beats some animals, and then he does this. So, Tim, at this point, all I want to say is that, seriously, just stop at this point. You've done enough. And here the time has come for your favorite part of the video. So let's take a look at 5 latest releases from this week, which are definitely worthy of your attention. German metal icon Doro has unveiled her latest anthem, Warriors of the Sea. Described by Doro as an anthem for all you pirates at sea and on land, wherever you like to rock out, the track is set to make its live debut during her Doro Metal Queen Metal Cruise on the Rhine, scheduled for May 31st and June 1st this year.
Warriors of the sea, rising forever free, for all eternity.
German electronic core band Electric Callboy has released Reverie, their second single of 2025 following Elevator Operator. This track presents a moodier, more introspective side of the band, blending their signature techno sound with deeper emotional tones. Or at least that's what their press release says. Reverie is accompanied by a music video that complements its atmospheric vibe and is done in a style which is pretty much exactly what Electric Callboy fans love this band for. French experimental metal project Igorrr has dropped Blast Beat Falafel, a new single from their upcoming album Amen, set for release on September 19th via Metal Blade Records. The track features guest appearances by Trace Pruans and Timba Harris, blending metal with oriental music influences. Igorr's founder, Gutierrez, describes the song as an unnatural and unorthodox connection between metal and traditional Oriental music. And you know what? That's exactly what it is. Canadian death metal band Kataklysm has released The Rabbit Hole, their first standalone single since Iron Will. The track, produced by guitarist Jean-François Diganet, features ambient sound effects and synth section curated by Clémence Vigère. Vocalist Mauricio Iacono explains that this song addresses the chaos in the world, encouraging listeners to trust their instincts amidst widespread misinformation. Swedish death metal veterans Unleashed have released War Comes Again, the lead single from their forthcoming 15th studio album Fire Upon Your Lands, due out on August 15th via Napalm Records. The track embodies the band's Viking-themed death metal style, with lyrics emphasizing resilience and readiness for battle. The accompanying music video portrays the band as blurred-out mysterious figures, enhancing the song's ominous atmosphere. And just as a reminder that our metal playlist Metal 365 and our Ukrainian metal playlist Ukrainian Metal are being updated frequently. So if you haven't listened to them for a while, or if you still haven't added those to your Spotify or YouTube music libraries, definitely do it after watching this video. Nik Nocturnal's retirement. Woo! After more than a decade of videos, riffs, breakdowns, and constant metal content, Nik Nocturnal has announced an indefinite break from creating content online, and all to focus on some important real-life stuff and figure out what's the next move for him. As according to his latest goodbye video, in his attempt to constantly create content for his audience, he simply didn't even notice where the flip went the last 11 years of his life.
Before YouTube? After YouTube. This is what happens, kids.
And the craziest thing is that Nik is by far not the only rock and metal YouTuber who has done that in recent time. And all because of a simple burnout and the pressure of constant online presence. As even in the metal world, despite the whole love for our favorite genre, content fatigue is real. Especially today, when in order to stay afloat, you kinda have to constantly release new content or new music.
Unite the world, and we hope it gives you inspiration as well.
Stream's over. I'm done.
So yeah, despite all of the musical taste differences, I wish Nik all the best. To spend some time on his own and come back recharged if he ever feels like this will be appropriate. Oh, and by the way, talking about new music from him, as a parting shot, Nik dropped a new EP titled The Lost Chapters, a 2000s metalcore banger featuring members of All That Remains, Darkest Hour, Caliban, Bury Tomorrow, and The Ghost Inside. So if you were an active Nik Nocturnal subscriber, now you have a soundtrack to cry to while rewatching his old episodes. And yes, in the past 11 years, he did produce quite a lot of those. And I honestly can't think of anyone who has done more in the metal YouTube niche than Nik did.
Fuck yeah, okay, let's go.
The Who fires Zach Starkey. Yes, again! Just when you thought that the drama is over, The Who decided to fire Zach Starkey again. The second time in a month. And in case you missed our previous digest, here is a little recap for you. It all started in April when the band announced that Zach was out after the Royal Albert Hall shows. Zach, clearly surprised, said he was saddened anyone would have an issue with his performance that night. As just a reminder, he was fired for playing the drum part too loudly in a rock and roll band. But anyways, let's continue. Then came the twist. Pete Townshend claimed it was all a misunderstanding and reinstated Zach just days later. But now it's May, and the revolving door spins again. And this time with even more drama. As according to Zach, who by the way was replaced by Scott DeVores, he was asked to lie and say that he quit on his own terms. Which, according to him, he would never have done because he loves The Who, and he did dedicate a lot of years to this band. And in all honesty, at this point, I wouldn't even be surprised if they decided to rehire him again, before I finish this segment. Because come on, who does that in the first place? And especially when you're hitting the road with your final tour ever. Come on, The Who. Another masked band. A new super mysterious masked British band President just released their debut single In the Name of the Father, which in just the first couple of days has been watched over 500,000 times on YouTube alone. President claims to blend heavy music, electronic experimentation and cinematic atmosphere and says they want the spotlight to stay on the music, not the identities. So pretty much say exactly the same thing and pretty much exactly in the same words as another mysterious masked British band, Sleep Token. And maybe that's why quite a lot of fans actually believe that it might be a side project of Sleep Token itself. But the craziest thing is that this band has actually already been announced to perform at Download Festival this February, several months before they even released their debut single. And here's the thing, if it is some kind of a new project by Sleep Token, well, I guess it's kind of okay, although I think everyone knows how I feel about that band. But if it is another new band, which is being launched in exactly the same way as gazillion other bands have been launched in the past couple of years, being so mysterious and non-mainstream by doing the most mainstream thing you can possibly imagine, I actually think that it is the most boring thing ever. And in addition to everything, as much as I try to get into this music, I actually think that it is simply an insult to metal. Iron Maiden's phoneless concerts. With their own live tour about to hit Europe, Iron Maiden are finally doing something which I and a lot of heavy metal fans have been talking about for ages now. And no, they're not banning phones outright, but rather are having an adult conversation with their fanbase, asking them to severely limit their usage of phone cameras during the upcoming shows.
Put your phone away.
We really want fans to enjoy the shows firsthand, rather than on their small screens. The phone obsession has now got so out of hand that it has become unnecessarily distracting, especially to the band. But at the same time, instead of doing what Ghost did on their 2025 tour and banning phones whatsoever at the venue premises, Iron Maiden are actually counting on their fans' respect, both for the band and for their fellow Iron Maiden fans, in their hopes for the crowd to enjoy this 1980s retrospective tour in the entire spirit of the 1980s, which is sadly, of course, fading away now with the digitalization of our society. As the truth is that, let's be honest here, there's absolutely nothing bad in taking a couple of selfies or even videos at any given concert to commemorate you seeing your favorite band live. But at the same time, standing in the first row and filming pretty much the entire concert with your hand held up high, by which blocking the view to all of your fellow heavy metal maniacs behind you, is definitely not metal. So I don't know about you, but despite the whole fact that I would simply love to see as much footage from this legendary tour as possible, I actually do hope that Iron Maiden fans will listen to their favorite band. But anyways, what new music did you listen to this week? Please let us know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Please don't forget to like it, comment under it, spread the word about this channel, and of course, don't forget to join our communities on Instagram, Facebook, X, Threads, Discord, and pretty much anywhere you can post content today. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we will prevail. Slava Ukraini!